Hi, my name is Rikke. I'm come from Hillerød. I used to study at Nordic in the IB department, and then I went to the University of St Andrews in Scotland to study for social anthropology. From then on, I went on to study for a Master's of Public Health, specializing in global health in Atlanta, the US. So I've always been really interested in other cultures. I was always curious to see what it'd be like to live somewhere else besides Denmark. And that's what initially drove me to sort of search for studying abroad. I was 15 years old when I found out I wanted to do that, which is why I chose the IB for my high school. And then I found out I wanted to study anthropology, and of course that really worked well with studying abroad. When I studied in Scotland, which I loved, I was offered a fellowship to go fully paid to a US institution where they had a really good school of public health. It's called Emory University. It's in Atlanta. And it seemed like a great opportunity because that institution specializes in what I'd gotten interested in, which is ideas about cultures and health, but also very much mental health. So I got the chance to go there without having to pay for it at all. So one of the world's best schools of public health to study exactly what I was interested in. So that just made a lot of sense, and I've been very happy that I chose to go. It's been quite a change from Scotland. In Scotland, I lived in this little small coastal town, and then I came to the US, to Atlanta, which is like a huge city, where it's harder to get around if you don't have a car. But it's been mostly a really, really good experience because I really love my school. It's called the Verden School of Public Health, and they have a ton of opportunities I couldn't have imagined getting anywhere else. They're really good at trying to train us to enter the world of public health professionals. I'd come from in the UK, I'd come from a very academic environment, which was also good, but it's very different, where we had like very few classes, and then huge assignments where you work for weeks on the same assignment, really do research, which is super academic, and rigorous in all those kind of ways, good, but not very easily applied to the real world. And then I came to Nordic School of Public Health. Well, all of a sudden I had like 5 or 6 different classes in the semester, and tons of little bit assignments, and they'd ask us to do things we need to know in the real world, like grant applications, or research proposals, surveillance proposals, that give us tasks to solve. Like, oh, this is a real world case study, how would you solve it? Then you do group work and come up with a solution and present it. And then my school, because they have a lot of professional connections, that have someone from the CDC, which is Centers for Disease Control, or like other really well-known organizations, come into class, listen to the things we were going to suggest, and give us feedback. Which is pretty incredible, like actually having world experts give you feedback on your class assignments. So that's been really good. They have a lot of opportunities to do professional work, a lot of opportunities to do research in public health, a lot of international opportunities and roll-ins. Like I was supposed to go to like a global practicum experience. I'd applied for things in Rwanda, in Brazil, in the Maldives, in New York, and then in Ethiopia. I'd found all these opportunities via staff members and via the school, and I ended up choosing to go to Ethiopia for the summer. I don't get to go because of COVID-19, of course, but that would have been amazing and just a really good chance to learn a lot. So that's just, the global connections were amazing, and some of the professional opportunities and roll-ins are amazing, so I like all that very much, but you gotta get used to the heat if you move to the south of the US. So I'd say if you know early enough that you want to study abroad, consider going to an IB school, because they're a lot better at helping students study abroad, like in terms of just having the international student guidance. And in a lot of countries, it's easier to get in with an IB than it is with a Danish education. For example, in the US and the UK, you'd be advantaged. Not all sort of countries, so do be aware. But if you don't go to an IB, which many students of course don't, even though they go abroad later, I'd say check out Danish Students Abroad, Project Access, and Nordic Study Abroad Conference, because they're great resources. It can be very confusing to sort of figure out how you're going to apply to study somewhere else, how you're going to fund it and all that. And there's support in the IB schools, but there's really also a lot of private organizations, those that I mentioned, that can help you with all that have all the guidance you need. So go utilize those resources because they're really great.